आचार्य स्तोत्र श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद महाराज की
जय।
जो विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की
जय।
नंद गौड़ी वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
अमाचार्य दास ठाकुर की
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
गो प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल।
all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories
हरे कृष्ण।
assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation, and today's verses 56 to 60. So, we read 56 first. Sarvakarmanyabhi sada kurvano madvyabhashaya matprasadat avapnodi shashwadam padamavyayam. Sarvakarmanyabhi sada kurvano madvyabhashaya matprasadat avapnodi shashwadam padamavyayam. Sarvakarmanyabhi sada kurvano madvyabhashaya मत प्रसादात् वाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्. माता जी.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सर्वकर्मण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादावाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्.
Yes.
Meaning, sarva, all, karmani, activities, api, although, sada, always, kurvana, performing, mat, under my, vyapasraya, protection, mat, my, prasadat, mercy, avapnoti, achieves, saswatam, eternal, padam, abode, avyayam, imperishable. Meaning, though engaged in all kind of activities, my devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. 57. Chedasa sarvakarmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhiyogam macchitta sadadam bhava. Chedasa sarvakarmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhiyogam macchitta sadadam bhava. Chedasa sarvakarmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhiyogam मच्चित्ता सततं भवा.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव. Chetasa, by intelligence, sarva karmani, all kind of activities, mai, unto me, sanyasya, giving up, mat paraha, my protection, buddhi yogam, devotional activities, upasritya, taking shelter of, mat sitah, consciousness, satatam, 24 hours a day, bhava, just become. Meaning, in all activities just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Verse 58. Macchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi mat prasadat tarishyasi adachet tvam ahankaran na shoshasi vinangshasi. Macchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi adachet tvam ahankaran shoshasi vinakshasi. Macchitta sarva durgani matprasada tarishyasi adachetvam ahangaran न शोषसि विनङ्क्षसि.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Matchitah Sarvadurgani Matprasadat Rishyatsi Athah Chetatvam Ahankaran Nasrosyasi Vinakshati. Meaning, Mat, my, Chitah, consciousness, Sarva, all, Durgani, impediments, Mat, my, Prasadat, my mercy, Tarishyasi, you will overcome, Athaha, therefore, Chet, if, Tvam, you, Ahankarat, by false ego, no, not, Srosyasi, do not hear, Vinashyatsi, then lose yourself. Translation: if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Hare Krishna.
Correct. 39. Yadhangaramashritya na yosya idi manyase mityaiva mityesha vyavasayaste pragadistvam niyokshati. Yadhangaramashritya na yosya idi manyase mityesha vyavasayaste pragadistvam niyokshati. Yadhangaramashritya na yosya idi manyase Mithyaisha Vyavasayaste Pragriswam Niyokshadi.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Yatahkaram Asritana Yotsya iti manyase Mithyesha Vyavashayaste Prakrutistvang Niyokshati. Yat, therefore, ahankaram, false ego, asritya, taking shelter, na, not, yotsya, shall fight, iti, thus, manyase, think, mithya is, this is all false, vyavasayah, te, your determination, prakriti, material nature, tvam, you, niyokshati, will engage you. Translation: if you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed by your nature. You will have to be engaged in welfare. Hare Krishna.
60. Swabhavajena kaunteya Nibaddha swena karmanam Kartum nechasi yatmoha Karishyasi avashobhita. Swabhavajena kaunteya Nibaddha swena karmanam Kartum nechasi yatmoha Karishyasi avashobhita. Swabhavajena kaunteya Nibaddha swena karmanam Kartum nechasi yanmoha karishyasi avashobhita.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swabhavyena Kanteya Nibaddha Svena Karmana Kartum Nechamasi Yanmohat Karishasya Bishopi Tat Swabhavajena, by one's own nature, Kanteya, O son of Kunti, Nibaddha, conditioned, Svena, by one's own karmana, activities, kartum, to do, no, not, ichhashi, like, yat, that, mohat, by illusion, karishashi, you will act, avashya, imperceptibly, api, even, tat, is that. Translation: under illusion by you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stavidam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadam Digam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudavadagamalam, Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa, Shri Rupam Sagrajadam, Sahaganalagunathanvidam Tam Sajivam, Sadvaidam Savadhutam Parijana Saidam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Padan, Sahaganalida, Shivishagan Vidamsa. He Krishna Karuna, Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade, Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude, Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Shabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye, Vancha Kalpadruvescha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha, Patidanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रया मत्प्रसादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable reward by my grace. Hare Krishna. So, starting from verse 41 through to 55, Krishna has described Sakama, Nishkama, Jnana, and Bhakti. This is the route, the path traversed by Sanishta Bhakta. Baldev Vidyabhushan has classified devotees in three types: Sanishta, Parinishtida, and Nirapeksha. Sanishta Bhakta is one person who is strictly following the Varnashrama rules and regulations. He is within the Varnashrama and progressing through the Varnashrama, doing his prescribed duties meticulously, both the Nitya Karma and Naimitya Karma, for the sake of Brahman realization and acquiring the purification of heart. He gets a perfection in this Varnashrama or Karma Yoga, which is Jnana. And having acquired Jnana, he realizes Brahman. And from Brahman, the Paranishta, Jnana se Paranishta is Bhavan realization through Bhakti. So this is a path of Sanishta Bhakta. Especially 51 to 54 describes in details how you should have a purified intelligence by reading scriptures and following the instructions of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality. Because buddhi is very required to form up or create the determination of the mind. When the buddhi is vishuddha, then triyatmanam, the mind also becomes very determined. And becomes regulated. Regulated means the senses are no longer following the sense objects. Krishna says, Shabdadin Vishayam Stektva. Shabdadin Vishayam Stektva. Ragadesho Videshaja. And then overcoming likes and dislikes So this is a path to jnana. And when Vivikta Sevi, residing in secular places, Laghvashi, eating very little, Yada Vakakaya Manasa, controlling the mind, words, and the body. Then with that, focusing only on Krishna, Dhyana Yogena. With determination, it is said that Mana Pranendriya Kriyaha, Dharayan Mana Pranendriya Kriyaha. How? Yogena Avyabhijarinya. That is the determination in the mode of Sattva. Yogena Avyabhijarinya. Nityam Vairagi Vashida. Then giving up, getting free from Ahangara, Balam, Darpam, Kamam, Krodam, Parigraham. Ahangara means identifying yourself other than self. Any identification other than self is Ahangara. Because ultimately we are soul only. So this is our real position, constitution position. And if you identify yourself as something other than self, that is Ahangara. Balam means the power that is created through vasanas, not the real power. Because you are relying on your vasanas. This is a way of karmis. They always rely on their vasanas, acquired through so many births. Then darpam, which creates a pride. This bala creates a pride. I'm very strong, I'm very powerful. And this pride will prompt you to sense gratification, kamam, krodam, and obtaining material objects. The person who is a jnani, who is the jnana path, he becomes free from all this, and nirmama, without having any ownership. Then shanto, he becomes peaceful. And once you are peaceful, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpade, he becomes self-realized. And the next verse, Krishna says, Brahma Bodha Prasannatma Nashochati Nakamshadi Samasarveshu Bhudeshu Mad Bhaktim Labade Param. Brahma Bodha, one who is Brahma Bodha means one who is now self-realized, he becomes very prasanna, equipoised, serene, peaceful, in a pleasant outlook. He is no longer craving for something he doesn't have or crying over something he has lost. And once he is very peaceful, he sees everyone with the vision of Atma only. So he doesn't differentiate between the high and low. Like the Brahma, who is in Satyaloka, is the highest and the Shrestha person in all three worlds. He doesn't distinguish between or differentiate between Brahma or a small insignificant ant. And from that position, he achieves the Parabhakti, Mad Bhakti Labade Param. So again, we can see that higher than jnana is bhakti. Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 19th verse, 19th chapter, first few verses, we'll find that the ultimate object of jnana is to achieve the lotus feet of Krishna. This is very clearly it states. Some jnanis, sometimes jnanis, they argue the other way. They said that bhakti is for purification, focusing on all that. Of course, that is true also. But then after that, the jnana takes over. Jnana is the highest. But Srimad Bhagavatam negates this verse of Krishna negates this. Samasarveshu Bhakti Mad Bhakti Labade Param. Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many verses which will support this. In first canto, 7th chapter, verse 10, it's a very famous verse. It says, Atmaramascha Munaya Nirgando Abhirukrame Kurvandi Haitugim Bhaktim Itam Bodha Guno Hari. Persons who are Atmaramas, who are Brahma Saukhyas, who is relishing the Brahma Sukha, even they are attracted by the Urukrami. Urukrami means one who is doing grand deeds. And they always render devotion service. Ahetugim bhaktim. Ahetugim means costless devotion. Why is it they are so much attracted? Itam Buddha Gunohari. That is the transcendental qualities attracted by the transcendental eternal qualities of Krishna. They become attracted to Krishna and they forget that highest is Brahma Saukya and they enter this the devotion service. There are many examples also of persons who are previously jnanis and then they became bhaktas. We have the example of Sanat Kumaras, the four sons of Brahma, Sanat Kumara, Sanata Sanadana, Sanat Sanandana. These are the Kumaras in the third canto, 15th chapter, the description of Kumaras visiting the Vaikuntha. And when they reach the Vaikuntha, in verse 43, it is said that the fragrance from the Tulasi leaves and the lotus feet of Krishna enter their nostrils, causing a thrill of ecstasy in their hearts. Immediately, their meditation on the absolute, formless, attributeless Brahman ended. And the same chapter, verse 49, they say that, "O Lord, we do not mind even if you send us to hell, so long as our minds get opportunity to drink the divine love bliss that emanates from your lotus feet." So these are the Kumaras are the highest jnanis, and they get converted to bhakta, attracted by the lotus feet of Krishna, and they became bhaktas. Same in Ramayana also, there's mentioning of Janaka Maharaja, father of Sita Devi. When Vishwamitra first introduces Sri Rama to Janaka Maharaj just looks at Sri Ramachandra, and then immediately Janaka becomes detached from the bliss of formless Brahman. Inhani Vilokya Adi Anuraga Barabasa Brahmasoke Manatyaga. So he just relinquished or abnegated or gave up the Brahmas, the Sukham, the bliss generated by Brahman realization, and they begin immediately attract Anuraga, ecstasy, on seeing Sri Ramachandra's divine form. So the personal form of Bhagavan is the highest, it proves. Then Shukadeva Goswami, we also know, Shukadeva Goswami also, he himself says that I was actually formless, attracted by the formless. But here in the pastimes of Krishna, descriptions of Krishna, the personal descriptions of Krishna, he became attracted. There's a story when the Veda Vyasa students went to forest and saw Shukadeva Goswami. And Shukadeva Goswami was meditating, and they reported this matter to Vyasa, and Vyasa said that you chant few verses of Srimad Bhagavatam in his ears. So they chanted the 10th canto, verse from 10th canto, 21st chapter, verse 5 is very famous. Parhapidam Nadavara Babu Karnayo Karnikaram Dibbadvasa Kanakavesham Vaijendim Chamalam Randran Venur Adhara Sudhayupuran Gopavrinde Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishta Gita Tirthi. Shri Krishna is adorned with a peacock feathers crown upon his head and exhibits his form as the greatest dancer. His ears are decorated with karnika flowers. His shawl is a color of brilliant gold. He wears a garland made of Vaijayanti beads. He fills the holes of his fruit with nectar from his lips. His praises are sung as he enters Vrindavan, surrounded by his cowherd friends, and marks his footprints beautifully on the earth, to beautify the earth. So, Shukdev Goswami earlier was absorbed in the formless Brahman, and suddenly the object of his meditation transformed into enchanting form of Lord Krishna.
Excuse me. Prabhuji, it is sloka number 10th canto, 10th canto chapter.
21.
Yes.
Verse 5. 10.21.5.
0.5. Okay, thank you.
It's a very famous verse. Very famous verse. It beautifully describes Krishna's form and Krishna's as a player of fruit, and glorifies his footprints. And then you have Shankaracharya also. Shankaracharya, of course, Nirakara Brahman. He was glorifying Nirakara Brahman. But he wrote several verses, praises, of course, many verses for Shiva, Vishnu, Durga, Surya. But ultimately, he was praising Krishna. Because in his last work, it is called Prabodha Sudhakar. Prabodha Sudhakar. There are many verses which, how he regards Krishna. Verse 250, in verse 142, I think, 140, 150, he says that Krishna is higher than the three Murtis, namely Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva.
Maheshwar.
And then verse 250 says, those who perform righteous actions for attainment celestial abodes, mean karma yogis, may do so. Those who desire liberation via the path of jnana or Ashtanga yoga may pursue that goal. They are free to do that. As for me, I want nothing of these two paths. Means he doesn't need karma yoga and jnana yoga. Of course, he is a supporter of karma yoga. Sorry, jnana yoga. If you read his Bhagavad Gita, he is always a staunch supporter of jnana yoga. But if he says, I wish only to engross myself in the nectar of Sri Krishna's lotus feet. I do not desire either worldly or heavenly pleasures, nor do I liberation. I am a rasik who relishes the bliss of divine love. So this is actually the inner core of Shankaracharya. Let's say Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas will say that he is a covered devotee. In case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we say that he is a covered avatara of Krishna. Shankaracharya is a covered devotee. That is a relationship with Shankaracharya and you can say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only introduces rasas. So the verse which very clearly states that highest is bhakti only. And Krishna says that if you want to relish the divine form of Krishna, only through bhakti is possible. Bhakti amam abhijanadi yavan yasham satatudaha. Tadomam tatudo jnato vishade tadanandara. Then you can enter into Krishna consciousness, the consciousness of Krishna, because you 100%, 24 hours, you are meditating on the form of Krishna, and Kali Yuga, instead of form, you are meditating on
Name.
yes, name only. And whether you are meditating on the form of Krishna, whether you're meditating on by incessantly chanting the holy name, the result is the same because you are into Krishna consciousness. That is why Vishade Tadanandra means enter into Krishna consciousness. And having described this path of Sanishta Bhakta, now he is describing the path of Parinishtita Bhakta. Parinishtita Bhakta, Krishna, service to Krishna is always supreme, but he is situated within this Varnashama. Within this Varnashama. For him, the primary thing is Krishna, worship of Krishna only. The ancillary is the Varnashama, Niyada Karma. you have this, you can say that main unit of factory, main unit and ancillary unit. Suppose there is a car manufacturing company, say, manufactures cars, but some ancillary things like nuts and bolts and all is described, manufactured by some other ancillary units. Like that, the main purpose of Parinishta Bhakta is Krishna only, right from the beginning. And as he's situated in Parinishta, in Varnashram system, he does a Varnashrama Niyadakam also, more as a model for others. You can see in verse of in the third chapter, verse 20, you can see Karmaneva samsiddhi asidaha janagadaya loka sangraham sampashyan kartumarhasi. Even kings like Janada, others attain the perfection stage by performance prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating people in general, you should perform your work. That is, of course, Sanishtha, but Panishtha also it remains in this one in this Varnashram system, just to educate others and to discharge his duties. That's all. So the verse says, Sarva karmani abhi sada kurvano madhyabhashaya. Since he's always depending on Krishna, he is discharging all kinds of work. All kinds of work. It's sarva karma. That is Namitika karma, Nimitta karma, and all that. Not only the devotion service, he is engaged other work also. And then doing this, Mat prasadat avapnodi shashvatam padamavyayam. He is elevated to kingdom of Krishna, which we call very fondly as Golok Vrindavan. Because Krishna, Mat Prasadat, Krishna says, Mat Prasadat, I am so pleased with you. I am so pleased with you that Krishna will personally see to it that we, without a fall down, reach the supreme destination. The devotees may face many difficulties in his journey, but by the costless mercy of Krishna, he can overcome everything. And finally, he will reach his destination. So next verse again says, Chedasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhiyogam upashritya matchitta satadam bhava. Again, matchitta sadam. Matchitta means Krishna consciousness, consciousness of Krishna. Sadadam, always remain in Krishna consciousness. By doing what? Buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means, you know, the intelligence. The discretionary part of knowledge is called buddhi. So the buddhi is always distinguish between various branches of knowledge. Knowledge, there's so many branches of knowledge. But what is perfectly required, what is actually appropriate for you, that can be done by intelligence only. That is called buddhi. In the verse, in the second chapter, Krishna is describing the difference between body and soul from verses 12 to 30. And then he says that you have to do the buddhi yoga also. From that, from 38 onwards, buddhi yoga means then use intelligence, the intelligence to achieve that soul, realize the soul. That you require intelligence. So Krishna says, buddhi yoga mubhashitya, use your intelligence and then become Krishna consciousness. And what will happen if you are relying on intelligence? if you're in Krishna consciousness, by relying on become Krishna conscious, what will happen when you are in Krishna conscious? Machitta sarvadurgani mat prasadat tarishyadi. Whatever difficulties you may face, Durgani means impediments. Durga means fort. Very difficult situations. You have seen Prahlad Maharaja, example of how many difficulties he has faced. Pandavas is a great example. Pandavas had so many hardships throughout their lives. But they very determinedly held on to lotus feet of Krishna, determined, held on to Krishna only. And because of that, they were able to overcome everything. Gita verse, you can say Bhishma, Drona, Dada, that description is there. Is actually this Bhagavad Gita Mahima is actually given by Madhusudana. Is an Advaitin, very strong Advaitin, but ultimately he also has accepted Krishna as supreme. He says, I know no other truth, higher truth other than Krishna. I have posted in the group. Have you seen that? Meditation karna starts with Om Pathaya Pribodhidam. You have heard that, no? Meditation on Gita. Prathaya Pribodhidam Bhagavadam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gridadam Muram Muninam Madhye Mahabharadam. You've not seen this? Meditation on Gita. Hare Krishna Mataji. Are you there? So in that there is another verse coming. Bhishma Dronatala Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nirolpala Shalyagrahavadi Krivena Vahani Karnena Velabula Ashwatthama Vigarna Ghora Magara Duryodhana Vartini Sotina Kulipandave Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshava. The battle river of Kurukshetra with Bhishma and Drona as the banks, with Jayadratha as water, the prince of Gandhara, that is Shakuni, as a blue water lily, with Shalya as a crocodile, with Kripa as a current, with Karna as a high wave, with Ashwatha and Vigarna as terrible sharks, and with Duryodhana as a whirlpool, was crossed by the Pandavas because they had Krishna as a furry man. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You are not responding?
Yes, Prabhuji. One phone call from my principal has immediately came, so I accepted that. Right. Sorry, Prabhuji. What is the matter?
Now we are describing, Krishna says, Mad Durgani, Mad Chitta, Mad Durgani, Mad Prasada Tarishasi. All the difficulties will be overcome by Krishna's mercy. And Pandavas, because they are staunch devotees of Krishna, come whatever, they are always rely on Krishna only. They will not give up their devotion service to Krishna. And the Pandavas are a great example of how Krishna has helped them. So in Gita Stuti, meditation on Gita, which is composed by Madhusudana, one of the Advaitins, starting with Om Prathaya Pradibodhidam Bhagavadam Narayanena Swayam. Have you heard this?
No, Prabhuji, no, I have not.
It's very important. It's meditation Gita is very famous. So in that, one verse is Bhishma Drona Tada. Starting with that, which says that the battle river of Kurukshetra with Bhishma and Drona as the banks. Tada, yes. Tada means banks. With Jayadratha as a water. Jayadratha Jala. Gandhara Nilo. Gandhara means the prince of Gandha, which is Shakuni. as a blue lily. Shalya Grahavati. Shalya is a crocodile. With Kripa as a current. With Karna as a high wave. With Ashwatthama and Vigarna as terrible sharks. And with Duryodhana as a whirlpool. Was crossed over by Pandavas because they had Krishna as a free man. Because this is samsara, talking about this very, very difficult sea to cross. But with Krishna as a free man, Pandavas were able to cross this. So, like Pandavas, we can also be able to cross this samsara sagara if we have Krishna or a spiritual master as our captain.
Yes.
Krishna says, yeah. Then he says, Adachetva ahangaran na shoshasi vinanshasi. But if you do not listen to me, because I'm the only person who can know what is right and what is not wrong, and what is right and what is wrong. Krishna says, I'm the only person in all spiritual and material worlds knows exactly what is to be done and what is not to be done. And instead of listening to me, if you are out of ego, you are not listening to me, then naturally you will fall down. You'll be lost. Vinanshas means you'll be destroyed. Why so? That Krishna explained next one. Yat ahangaram ashritya ne yorsya manyase. Sorry. Miktesha vyavasayaste pragadiswam vinakshasi. If you say that I will not fight because I don't want to kill Bhishma Pidamaha, Drona the teacher, and all the friends and all the relatives which are lying on the opposite side. If because of ahangara, you know what is other than self is ahangara. When you are identifying yourself anything other than self, this ahangara. And because ahangara, if Arjuna decides I will not fight because I am very compassionate, because of the false compassion, he is not fighting. Then determination, which Arjuna says I will not, that determination is false, it's temporary, it will not last. It will not last. Why? Prakriti Swam Vinyakshadi. Your Prakriti will engage you. Your Prakriti will engage you and you engage in warfare. You want to not fight, you want to get out of the battlefield. But when the battle starts, the same Prakriti which engage in warfare, because the Prakriti is Krishna's only, Krishna's energy only. However determined you are, you will be defeated by the Krishna's energy. Devi Heshi Gunamaya, Mama Maya Durateya, Mamai Vaya Prabhadyante, Maya Medam Tarandite. So Krishna's energy is Maya. Maya is Krishna's energy only. A living entity cannot hope to win against this energy of Krishna on his own. So out of illusion, if Arjuna thinks that I will not fight, that determination will not last. Your Prakriti will engage you, and this Prakriti belongs to me. You cannot overcome by my Prakriti. And what is that Prakriti? Svabhavajena kaunteya nibaddha svena karmana. Everyone is bound by the Svabhavaja and one's own impressions. The impressions creates a Svabhava and which will inspire you or engage you in your work. Now Arjuna is a Kshatriya, he's a hero. Shauryam Balam, Dhrirdaksham. These are the qualities of the Kshatriya, which is given in verse 43. Shauryam Tejo Dhrirdaksham. Shauryam, courage, Teja, power, Dhridi, determination, Daksham, expertise. These are the qualities of Kshatriya. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. By nature, he is a Kshatriya. So he is naturally a hero. When the enemies will taunt you, this is a tactics used by enemies. They will taunt the opposite people. Insult you, give you taunting words, which are like barbs. They say you are running, you are covered, you are running away, and all those things they'll say. And when you are taunted, naturally the Swabhava as a Kshatriya will be awakened and you'll start fighting. So kartum nechasi yad mohan, what you have decide not to do, you will do it ultimately. Avashaha, without helplessly. Avasha means imperceptibly or helplessly. Helpless. Avasha means helpless. Because you are now dictated by your Swabhava only. And when you are under the your nature, you will helplessly engage in war, which you said you don't want to. So it is better, always better, to act under the instruction of Krishna to fight rather than fight on your own. Because when you fight on your own, you will get the karma reactions. When you're fighting on instruction of Krishna, there is no reaction. So this is the instruction of Krishna, and then he'll elaborate on this in next verses that we'll discuss in next class. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So, can render this Narasimha Kirtan?
Yes, Prabhu. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlad Ladadaini, Hiranyakashipurvaksha, Hiranyakashipurvaksha, Silatanka Nakhalai, Ito Narsinho Parato Narsinho, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsinho, Bahir Narsinha Hridaye Narsinha, Narsinhamadi Sharanang Prapade, Tabakara Kamala Bari Nakham, Bhutasringam Dalita Hiranyakasipu, Tanubhrungam Kesabadhrita Narahari Rupa, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jaya Narsingadev, Jaya Narsingadev, Narsingadev, Jaya Narsingadev, Jaya Naro Hari, Jaya Naro Hari, Naro Hari, Jaya Naro Hari, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Prabhupada, Gurudev, Prabhupada. Om Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jalantang Sarvatomukham Narasingham Vishanabhadrang Mrityu Namamyaham. Om Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jalantang Sarvatomukham Narasingha Vishanabhadrang Mrityu Namamyaham. Om Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jalantang Sarvatomukham Narasingham Vishanabhadrang Mrityu Namamyaham. Sri Narsingha Jai Narsingha Jai Jai Sri Narsingha Prahladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhranga Sri Narsingha Jai Narsingha Jai Jai Sri Narsingha Prahladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhranga Sarva Vigna Vinasaka Narsingha Bhagwan ki
Jai. Vancha kalpatarubhascha
Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Nanta Kori Vaishnava Nidhi Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki